you know, Let's Resin have got their own moulds and closed back bezels that actually fit into it. So what you get is you get a little box with 2 lots of moulds in, and you get a selection of these closed back bezels. Now these are readily available online, and I will link more for you, and I'll link this kit. But these ones, without any hassle or having to think about it, fit really well into these bezels. And there's sometimes it's quite hard to get moulds that fit perfectly in there, that make the cabochons that fit perfectly in there. And this is ideal for beginners. It also comes with this second mould that has larger shapes in it that you can even do as open jewellery, lots of other different things like pocket hugs and all that sort of stuff. Or you can make closed back bezels for these, and I'm making a video on my other channel, so check that out, Steve McDonald Crafting, that will be out very soon, on how to make your own closed back and open back bezels that are all lovely and neat. So you don't want to miss that, so check out my other channel, because that video will be around soon. So what we're going to do today is we're going to have a bit of fun with these. And as I said, this is ideal for beginners. And they have given, in this kit, 2 bronze or bronzish colour and 2 silver of each one of these. So there's plenty to be getting on with. And like I said, you can buy these, and they've made these as for the standard size of these moulds as well, which is great news. I'll also be giving some really useful beginners tips and tricks throughout this video on how to make the most of what you're making and how to get some excellent finished results that are good enough to sell. I speak to a lot of beginners and they're a little bit nervous about doing things and testing it out. So at least this way, hopefully it will give you the confidence you need to be able to make some beautiful jewellery. And I'm going to be using the crystal clear epoxy resin by T Expert for this one. I love the resin. So I think if I love it and it's a great price, why not use it? Because it gives great results as well. So I'm going to do some different things with these. And what I'm going to be using for some of them are chrome powders. And I love the chrome powders. When you're using chrome powders as a beginner, make sure that you really do brush these on nice and firm until you get that shine come up. If you don't, you won't get as nice a shiny finish as you hoped for. And once you've got your chrome powders in there like that, just get rid of any excess and then go in there again and give it another bit of a brush. And that's all you have to do with those. Really nice and simple. Then on this row here, I'm going to be using chameleon powder. I'm going to use chameleon flakes because I do love a chameleon flake, as you've probably guessed. And again, I'm making sure I give them a good brush down. And with these ones, we'll do a slightly different resin colour in them as well, because I think you get a much better result if you have a colour rather than a clear resin in these. And if you've got a nice clean mould, then these should attach to your mould really easily. I have got a video on how to clean your moulds and protect your moulds so that they last a nice long time, and I'll link that at the end of this video as well so that you can see how easy it is to take care of your mould and to get that extra life out of them, because moulds aren't cheap and we want them to last as long as we can. All I'm doing now is cleaning out where I've been a bit careless and got some chameleon flakes or chameleon powders in there. And I used a baby wipe, and now I'm going to pop my cloth in there and just dry it out. I'm not rubbing it, I'm just popping it in. Now I've got those in there, I can mix up my resin, and once I've got that mixed up, I'll show you what I'm going to do next. So I've got my resin mixed up now, and for these ones, what I'm going to do is add a little bit of red mica powder into them, colour this up a little bit, and make sure I give that a really good mix in. The red should be dark enough, and there's quite a lot of red or golds in there. Now, there's something really important you mustn't do when you're making cabochons like this, because if you do, you're going to make yourself a lot more work. We don't want to do that, do we? So that should be mixed in there enough now. So when you're pouring these, make sure that you don't over pour. You want them to be right up to the very edges of this mold. And the reason is, if you over pour, the surface tension of the resin will create a dome on the back, and that is the last thing that you want. You don't want a dome on the back, because if you do have, it's not going to sit nice and flush in your bezel, and you'll end up having to sand it. Now, I am a terrible one for over pouring, so I have to be even more careful. tiny little drop more in that one. There we go. So these should have nice flat backs. And I'm also going to show you how to attach these to the bezels as well once these are all cured up. And it's a way that if you've got some that are transparent, it gives you a really good effect, because we're going to have some transparent ones here as well. There we go. And I've got some left over as always, so all I'm going to do is pour that into these cabochons, as I will turn these into something at a later date. And the hearts here as well. I never ever waste resin. I always make something with it, and these hearts will make great little inserts into flower arrangements, on wreaths. If you're making wreaths, you can add them to cards, or if you make your own cards, there's so much you can do with them. So never ever waste it. So none of that has gone to waste. Now these ones, what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill these virtually to the top and then fill them all up again once I've done what I've got to do. And the reason I'm doing that is so I don't overfill them by putting in some inclusions in it. I will have some resin left over here, so I'll probably add some colour or something to it and finish off pouring in that other mould. So the first one, what I'm going to do, that first row going down there, is I've got some dried flowers here. A lot of these I dried myself or I've purchased already dried. And all I'm going to do is make sure I get them round the right way. So that is the back. And then pop them in like that. And then push them all the way down. I don't care if it's trapped bubbles under it. That's absolutely fine. I think that can really give a nice effect to the final flower. I'll go up there for this one. I think we'll put some green behind that one. Well, like that, and pop that down. And you might get one or two bubbles come up, but we're going to pop all those and deal with those in a minute. Yeah, and I really like those. Now, all I'm going to do is I've got some gold leaf flakes here. I will link everything that I've used in the description below, so don't panic if you want to get hold of any of this. And these are just shards of gold leaf like this. And what I'm going to do is pop that over the back of each of these flowers. Not everywhere. I want it to be glistening through this. You do your designs that you want to do, but I'm just giving you some ideas here, and you don't have to stick to the same colours as I'm using. You do you. Put the lid on that before I get it everywhere. And this last one is, all these are little bits of nail art, and I like to put them in quite random. You get so many different types of nail art as well. And these ones need a little bit of extra resin in them, because as I said, I gave them a little bit of extra space, but again, I don't want to overfill them. They need to be nice and flat. All I'm using is a pipette here, so I can be a little bit more careful about how much I'm putting in. I want them flush with that top. I mean, the worst comes to the worst, I can always sand them down using my Let's Resin sander to get a flat base, but that's an extra step that I don't want to have to do if I can help it. These make some pretty pendants, these little patterns, without a great deal of effort. Ideal for the beginner. Actually, ideal for anybody, really. Just by following a few simple rules. So now that's done, what I'm going to do to finish off the backs for those is I've got some ultra fine glitter here, and I'm sprinkling that over the top. And what will happen is the glitter will absorb into that resin, but it will stay floating on the top. Some of it might go down, but not a lot of it will, and it will give a lovely sparkle. That's the only trouble. If you have to sand these and you've got a little bit of glitter on the back, then what's going to happen is you're going to lose that glitter. Massive thank you to everybody that got me a coffee last month as well. I can't tell you how much I appreciate it. Some of the messages that come through were absolutely lovely. So if you buy me a coffee to get your name on my coffee board, just to say thank you for any of my videos, then please leave me a little message as well in the message section. I love reading them. It makes my day. So there we go. So now we can just leave those to cure up. We can go over them with a long neck lighter. First, any bubbles that can give a really pretty effect as well. And then with the resin that I've got left over here, let's just move that to one side. Let's pick a nice colour. I love this ocean blue. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some of that ocean blue in there. Give that a mix round. And then use this in these bezels as well. Massive thank you to all my members whose names are coming up now. We've got a new series coming out soon that I'm doing free for members on how to start your own business, how to get going, what's important, what's not important, and how to have a stress-free life running your own crafting business. So that's coming up for members only soon. So if you want to benefit from that course, then please check out the membership. There's loads of videos on there that are members only, and we have a great group. And if I can help anyone, I certainly will. Now we've got those all poured, what we'll do is we'll leave those overnight to cure, and then we can come back to them and I can show you how a great way of setting them into these bezels. Well, these are all lovely and cured now, and I'm really looking forward to using them. These ones aren't going to be used in these bezels. These are ones in the extra mold, but look how beautiful they are. They are going to make great pocket hugs and different pieces of jewellery, and I'll put those in my pot. Or what I love doing with these hearts is either gluing them together like that, so you've got a really thick chunky heart. Actually, I'll show you. I won't just talk it, I'll do it. So put them to one side and I'll show you what I mean with those. Now these, oh, look at that. That is absolutely stunning. Oh, the one with the flowers come out really well. And I love the bit of gold leaf at the back. It gives it that little bit more of a pop, I think. Now the ones with the glitter on, I've got a little bit that's come over the edge. That's only where the glitter is, but the glitter sets them off lovely. So all I'm going to do is just scrape that away with my nail. If you don't want to use your nail, you can use anything. Just scrape that away because you don't want that. Look at the clarity on that as well. So these are the ones that I'm going to do for the camera, and they're really easy to do. Now, the reason I'm going to show you this way is because I don't know if you can see, these bezel backs are designed like this. They've got that pattern on the back, and that allows your resin, once you glue it in, to actually stick to it. But it shows through the actual piece because we've got a clear piece. So what I'm going to do is, now I use 5-minute epoxy for this. I prefer 5-minute epoxy than E6000, but you use whatever you want. And the reason I prefer 5-minute epoxy is I think it grips them a lot more. And epoxy on epoxy glues really well. You don't need much. And like it says on the bottle, it will be cured in about 5 minutes. If it's cool in your area, then possibly not. It might take more. And you use an equal amount of part A and part B. Give it a mix together. Now what I'm going to do is add some gold leaf to this and mix that in. And it might sound strange, but a lot of people don't realise that you can mix stuff in with your 5-minute epoxy, and you want a thin layer on the back here. If any squeezes out, it doesn't matter, you can wipe it up, you can clean it up. Decide which way up you want that. I want it that way up, and then all I'm going to do is drop that on it. And now, as you can see, once that's cured, you're not going to see that background come through. Clear up those edges, and you can still adjust this for a little while, and now we've got a lovely pendant. So I've glued all the flower ones on now, and we'll leave those to dry. And while they're drying, I will get on with the others. But I'm going to quickly show you what I mean with these hearts. Now, because you've got a smooth surface there, all I'm doing here is carefully, trying not to cut myself, is running through that with a knife and scratching it up a little bit. And that'll give the resin something to stick into. Just helps the resin stick to each other a little bit easier. And I'll do the other one as well. And these make great little items to put in wedding flower arrangements or other flower arrangements that you've got. And you don't have to have just hearts. You can use anything, any of the shapes. And now I'm going to mix together some more 5-minute epoxy. And then this time I'm putting some red mica powder in it. And then I'm going to put that on there quite thick, like that, and then spread that out right up to the about 2 or 3 millimeters from the edge. Place that on there like that, give it a squeeze, line them up as best I can, clean up any that have come out the edge, and then put that to one side to cure up. I can use some of this for the rest of them as well, and this is without a doubt the easiest way to get a really lovely finish, and the cabochons stuck in there really well. You're not going to be able to do this with most other glues. So with E6000, you're not going to be able to mix in mica powder and different bits and pieces or gold leaf and still get the same amount of stick to it. Now, this isn't sponsored in any way by whoever makes the 5-minute epoxy. And I've had those 2 bottles of 5-minute epoxy for about 2 years, I think, and I use it ever such a lot. Again, you just pop in your cabochon, clean up any that it's come out the edge, and then let that dry. And that's why it's so important as well to make sure you don't over pour any of these, because if you over pour any of them, you're not going to fit your cabochon in there really well if it's too big. So I'm going to go ahead, I'll finish these off, then I'll show you how I'm going to put a stick into that. Well, the heart's all lovely and cured up, and what I've got here is, and I get a lot of these because I do make quite a lot of these sorts of things, it's just a meat skewer, and I want the pointy end not to be inside the resin. I want that to be in the middle there. So I've got a drill bit on my Dremel, the right size, and I'm putting it on something like this so that when I push it forward, I can actually get a nice grip on this and keep it away from my fingers. I'm not going to drill it really fast, so I'm having it on the lowest speed, and then I'm just slowly going in there. Look how easy that's drilled. That's drilled really easily, and that fits in there perfectly, like that. Now, I would make quite a few of these at a time normally, if I'm doing something like this. But I'm just quickly showing you today. You can either leave it like that and have them where you can take them off and change them out. But to be honest, I think that's a lot of faff because they can get knocked off and damaged. I mix up a tiny bit of 5-minute epoxy. I don't need much, just one tiny squeeze for this one. I'm not going to add any red or anything to this one this time. And all I'm going to do is roll in my stick, making sure I've got plenty on the end, popping it in there, taking it out, popping it in, taking it out, getting a little bit more of that glow, and then popping it in for the last time. I'm going to give it a bit of a twist while it's in there and then clean up any residue. And the reason I popped it in and out 3 times is because that pushes the glue in there really well. Clean that up and let that cure. And then these work amazingly. You can cut them down if you need to, but if you've got a centerpiece or a piece of flowers and you want to put them in, then you can put them in. And they really do show up brilliantly. So that's a great little way. A little extra tip on this one. Let's look at all these now. They're finished. They're all lovely and hard, so they're not going to go anywhere. They'll be on there forever. These have come out absolutely beautiful. You can't see that backing on them. The ones with the flakes in have come out really, really pretty, and so have the ones with the chrome powders. They've come out lovely. That flower has gone in there really, really well. These are a standard size bezel that you can get, so that mould will fit in with it. It saves such a lot of work. Now, I like working inside the bezels as well, but you're never going to get such a big dome on them as by using the actual mould itself. But look how pretty they are. Simple, nice and easy, ideal for the beginner, but yet gives a brilliant and amazing effect. Let's Resin are really putting some thought into the types of molds and things they're bringing out at the moment, and I'm loving it. They're really good. I hope you've enjoyed that video. Be sure to check out the next video that I've got coming up now. It's linked above here. I'll link everything that I've used in the description below. Boot that like button, hit that subscribe button, but most of all, enjoy your resin. Take care. Bye.